Hi, my name is Autif Kamal. This is another episode of Be Logical. In this episode, I'll basically describe how, at least as far as Barnes & Noble's retail stores are concerned, they're kind of going in the same direction as Borders. Now, first I have this graphic here. I got it from Brad Thomas, who is a contributor for Forbes. And he wrote the article, Barnes & Noble should start thinking outside of the big box. Now, in case you don't have access to the video, I'm going to describe the information in this table, or this chart. In the first column it says segment name. In the second column it says second quarter of 2013 for their revenue. And then for the third column it has the second quarter of 2012 for their revenue. Now for the retail stores, in 2012, for the second quarter, they went down from about 1 billion to 996 million in revenue. For the college bookstores, they went from 769 million to 773 million. And for like Nook related materials, which could be readers, e-readers, or e-books, they went from 151 million to 160 million. Now, why might these changes have occurred? What I'd aim to convince you of is that for the retail stores, a part of the reason why they're losing revenue is because e-books are becoming more popular, which is partly indicated by the sales for the Nook by about 10 million. But I also want to explain why the revenue for their college bookstores has increased. Now this is also data that I'm getting from Brad Thomas. Mitchell Kipler, a CEO of Barnes & Noble, said that recently, about like the end of January of this year, that Barnes & Noble will begin to shut down 20 stores per year for at least 1 decade. So that's 200 stores that he's estimating they'll shut down in 10 years. Okay, now even presently, it has 689 retail stores, which is 34 stores less than what it had in April 2012. They had 723 retail stores in 2011. Sorry. Now the good thing for them is that since 2011, they actually increased the number of college bookstores they had from 639 to 667. That's a 28 store increase. So that's an indicator that they're not losing college textbook sales to ebooks. Okay. Now I want you to consider a couple hypothetical or conditional propositions. Now first, if Barnes & Noble retail stores were selling enough print books, they wouldn't need to shut down any stores. But they are shutting down stores, so I would claim that means that they're not selling enough print books. Because the thing is, print books are their main source of income. So if they're selling enough of them, then yeah, they wouldn't need to shut down these stores. Now, as far as their college bookstores are concerned, if they were selling enough textbooks, they wouldn't open new stores, but they are opening new stores. So to me, that means that they are selling enough textbooks, or even they've increased in their revenue as far as textbooks are concerned. Now, this other bit of information I'm getting from Stephen J. Von Nichols, who writes for Networking. I got this article at ZDNet. The name of the article is "It's the End of Books as You Knew Them. Ebooks Outsell Hardbound for the First Time." Now, in the first quarter of 2011, the sales of adult books for print was 223 million. For electronic, it was 220 million. But in the first quarter of 2012, print went to 229 million, but electronic went to 282 million. Now, apparently it's the first year that electronic outsold print, at least as far as adult books are concerned. Now, print still increased, but the increase was very marginal. It only increased by 6 million, whereas for electronic, it increased by 62 million. So I give that to you as an indicator that ebooks are rising in their popularity. And as another indicator, and I'm getting this from Claire Kane Miller and Julie Bossman, they write for the New York Times. The name of the article is "Ebooks Outsell Print Books on Amazon." In May 2011, Amazon sold 105 ebooks for every 100 print books. That excludes free Kindle books and print books which are also sold in Kindle format. It's important that it excludes free Kindle books because a free Kindle book counts as a purchase. You have to do a transaction even for a free Kindle book. Okay, and another indicator, I'm getting this from Tanya Stockton. Her website is Publishing Unleashed. The name of this article was Where Are Books Being Sold? The Breakdown of Book versus Ebook Sales. In 2010, ebooks accounted for 10% of all book sales. In 2011, they accounted for 20%, and in the second quarter of 2012, they accounted for 22%. So there's a constant increase from 2010 to 2012. Granted, the increase from 2011 to 2012 was kind of marginal, but it's still an increase. Also, some other information I got from Tanya Stockton was that apparently PricewaterhouseCoopers predicts that ebooks will make up 50% of the US book market by 2016. The reason why Barnes & Noble I think should be concerned about this is that right now ebooks only account for 22% of their book sales, and they have 16% of like the ebook market. Whereas for Amazon, it makes up 62% of their book sales, and they have 20% of the ebook market. Now, if ebooks rise in popularity, then what's possible is that Amazon will take a greater share of that market, which means Barnes & Noble will lose out on more of those sales, which will give them a greater influx of revenue, basically. So they should probably, I would suggest that they probably get on top of that. Okay, so why has Barnes & Noble been getting more revenue for their college bookstores? I can't say for certain, but I think I have an idea, some ideas of why that is. One, because there's a relatively weak selection of e-textbooks, and also you can't sell e-textbooks back. And I don't know how frequent this is, but I know that at least sometimes the e-textbooks are not much cheaper than the physical textbooks. So that would give one an incentive to purchase the physical textbooks instead. And also, physical textbooks may be easier to navigate and take notes in. So I think those are all reasons why students may prefer physical over electronic textbooks. So to me, what it seems like Barnes & Noble should do is they should try to get on top of addressing these concerns for e-textbooks, and I think they could at least bring in some sales with that.